Okay, welcome back. It is 4/9 of 2015. We're going to take a look at the concept of Ouranos within the doctrine of the kingdom. And it is an interactive area that is a transitional space for Jenson, the taking up of finitude into the triune perichoretic unity. But we'll take a look at the three moments of the kingdom, and then we'll take a look at this fourth transitional moment of Ouranos. The first moment is the perichoretic interpretation of time. It's a 7-point interpretation. The overcoming of death is the fulfillment of the Abrahamic covenant. It will be inclusive of the great dead who defined Israel. It will be individual resurrection, but it'll be nested in a communal resurrection. Personal identity will be sustained, and it will be patterned after the triune unity that never represses identifiable personhood, and will be measured against the Christ event. So the individual, identifiable, unique past will be enclosed within an enveloping, eternal interpreting of the kingdom. The social aspect for the second moment is basically the mutual activity of availability and intentionality, but it will maintain that separate, personally identifiable space, and it will simply be the mediating activity between time and space. The third moment is the key personal identifiable space. Jenson gives three concepts here as that which is abbreviated under this personally identifiable space. The first is coherency. Our identifiable space will be made coherent with the Christ space. Then recognition, we will be recognized by others according to our body. And then gradations, there will be grades of achievement and grades of authority in the kingdom. There will be differentiation concerning challenges and achievements. Now when he talks about this transitional stage of the Greek concept of Ouranos, it's the interim period of being with Christ, the in-between time of the taking off of this body and the being clothed in a spiritual body. It's the intermediate state of the kingdom in a particular mode of being. But it will be sustained by the perichoretic triune unity. It will be a subsystem activity of finite time transitioning to triune time, finite political realm transitioning to perichoretic space, and the finite believer transitioning to the personal, deified, and identifiable agent. So he's very much wanted to just touch on a few last-minute notes for this section on creation. This is the final lesson that he has on creation, the doctrine of creation. But he wanted to touch on that concept of the Greek Ouranos as kind of an intermediate stage of the actual taking up. When we transition from finitude to the kingdom, from finitude to the kingdom. So it's finitude, Ouranos, and then kingdom. According to Jenson, there's an intermediate Ouranos transitional taking up period, which is a modality of the kingdom. But you can see that he does basically remain consistent with his previous view on the perichoretic unity of time, the trimutual ousia space. We are taken up into this time and into this space, but we pass through a mediating modality of kingdom called heaven, or the Ouranos. Ouranos is a mediating modality of kingdom. Before we get to the exalted, true eschatological kingdom, we pass through the mediation of Ouranos, the transitional taking up in the realm of time, politics, and agency. Time, politics, and agency. So it's an extremely brief lesson. He really just wanted to touch on a few last-minute things. He didn't really want to get into a lot of detail. In fact, most of his detail was really on the mediating intermediate period of Ouranos, but he did want to emphasize the three concepts abbreviated under personal identity, because our personal identity will be sustained, but it'll be sustained within the concepts of coherency with Christ, recognition in body, and there will be, even for saints, even for believers, there will be grades of participation, grades of challenging, grades of achievement, and grades of authority. So there will be a realm of gradations when we do reach the eschatological kingdom, which will further enhance the idea of individuality and personhood.